Later.
Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, how you
Hi,
doing?
Mike. Okay.
Say, Mike.
Very full on.
Yeah.
How the hell are you?
Man, I'm hanging in there, hanging tough.
It's 84 degrees in New Orleans, Mike.
What's that?
It's 84 degrees in New Orleans.
Well,
What's
it's
it
not
like
too
in
bad here, but it's not that nice.
Yeah, we don't call it nice. It's a little muggy. I mean, we've had
Hey.
fog so thick they closed the causeway a couple times. You couldn't get across the bridge.
We got maybe 55 today, 64 yesterday, and Tuesday it's supposed to be 20, and Wednesday about 30 with snow, 3 to 5 inches of snow. So, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, if you told us 3 to 5 inches of snow, everything would close. I mean, seriously. So
That's
these
true.
people down here, these flatlanders do not know how to drive in ice and snow. It's
Yeah, I remember one night working the door and it was sleeting and it was like the safest place to be was on Bourbon Street because all the roads were
Yeah.
great.
Here's something I found on Wikipedia.
oops.
Dallas has a Phoenix of Falcon performance that is
Ziggy,
characteristic.
stop.
Somebody's talking to Alexa.
No, actually, the one in my office is named Ziggy because all the other ones are. So somebody must have said something that sounded like that.
Here is an answer from an Alexa.
Ziggy, stop.
Hey,
You know, we could say something and say, what you call it, buy Billy
Yeah.
hey
Yeah,
guys, last week,
$1,000 stereo or something.
yeah.
last week I told you early on that my computer had been locking up on me and it might do it, and it did. And my youngest brother was over here during the week and did some work on my computer, and I think he's got it fixed, although it did lock up on me a couple of times. So I'm hoping it won't do that today. But
Yep.
just in case it does, you'll know it's the damn computer, not me splitting.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
in my case here, a lot of times it's the
Internet.
Wi-Fi, the internet here, the speeds at different times. The closer it gets to 5 o'clock here, when everybody gets home
Yeah.
from work, the the internet slows down. You know, even though it's not supposed to, and uploading things in particular slows down, and sometimes everything will freeze up.
Yeah, this has the locking up stuff has been going on. I can be just doing some stuff, checking email or doing something in Microsoft Word or Excel or something, and it'll just lock up on me. So, or a couple of times I use Firefox, a couple of times just trying to access Firefox. The thing would go on forever and not boot up and just lock up. So just wanted to let you know in case I disappear.
Okay.
It's not personal.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the weather looks good behind you. I know it's a picture.
Well, that's an old picture.
I know.
That's from our cabin that up in the mountains, looking from the deck just across the parking lot to that lake.
Mm.
And it's just nice up there. There's 2 lakes. There's one there and then another one not too far this other side of there. And they stock the lake with fish. I've never been into fishing, but people fish up there like crazy, and it's just a gorgeous place to be, unless a helicopter comes flying in to take somebody that got injured on the glacier, and they raise up so much dust you got to go in the house. But that happened to us during the summer. But it's gorgeous up there. It really is.
Yeah, it looks nice.
10,370 feet.
Wow. Yeah, so what kind of fish do they put in there?
Oh, it's some kind of trout or something, I guess. I don't know. They stock it 2 or 3 times a year, and it's homeowners only up there, property owners only up there. You have to buy a pass every year. It's $50 or something like that. But there's a lot of people that really are into fishing that do that every year. I'm not. We used to do it, but for friends, it would come up, but we stopped doing that a long time ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I was talking to Kent McBride last week, and
Oh,
his
how's he doing?
wife, who has Alzheimer's, is doing much, much better. Things have gotten really good.
Yeah, she's had that for quite a while.
She has, and he was just so surprised that she was coming out of it. So
Yeah.
he's pretty happy. And
Yeah.
his kids are doing well, so everything with him is going pretty good.
Yeah, I remember because way
That was
back
good to hear.
one time we had a get together at my house before I moved here with my father-in-law, so that had to be 5 years ago. and we got on the phone with Kent, and his
Yeah.
wife was having the issues.
That was time with Milton at your house.
Yeah, Milton came over.
He used to come to this place called the Bull and Bush, where we played 2 Sundays a month. He used to come in there fairly often. He brought Kathy with him a couple of times. That's about 4 or 5 years ago. And his one daughter, Ariel, wanted to learn to play banjo, and so he brought her in there several times. I don't know if she ever learned to play banjo. I think she maybe did or worked at it for a while, but he'd always come around. It was good to see him. But you know, we're maybe 30, 40 miles apart, and we never see each other.
Yeah, it's always good. You know, it's nice, always nice to talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's an interesting guy. He's always been very interesting and a whole lot crazy.
Yeah, no, Kent was always a live wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a good manager of Houlihan's or whatever that club he ran in New Orleans, because he
Very
hired,
good. He's the one that got us playing there.
yeah.
And Houlihan's was the reason he came to Denver in something like 77. He was brought up here to open that club and run it for a long time. And he did. And I forget how long he was there. He wasn't there a whole lot, you know, more than maybe a couple of years. And then later on, I got a job tending bar at Chi-Chi's, and he and Ron Fuller were both involved in Chi-Chi's property acquisition and things at the time. And so we'd kind of come in and go in and out of each other's lives and things, but it's been interesting to stay in touch all these years.
Yeah, Kent and I met. We were both in juniors in high school. We were in the summers. We worked at a resort in the Missouri Ozarks, and the lady who ran housekeeping got me a trail. She hooked me up with this guy who owned a trailer, so I'd have a place to stay. And then I said, "Well, I'll find a roommate." She goes, "No, I got a roommate for you." And I go, "Okay." And it was Kent. And so we used to have these great parties, and it was we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere,
Hey,
but
Chris.
really close to the
Chris.
resort. Hey, Chris.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Congratulations on your new show that started today.
Well, it actually airs tomorrow.
Oh,
So
tomorrow? I thought, oh, that's right, Saturday. Okay, I'm sorry.
Saturday morning. Yep.
I'm in a time warp. Yeah,
So Chris, is there any way I can access that to see it here in Denver?
Not until the 2023 they will air it around the country.
Okay.
but they don't stream, QE doesn't stream online?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
Because the other local stations want to use it for their fundraising.
Oh, I got you. Okay. All right.
If we streamed it, then it would only be fundraising for our station.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I still haven't taped the national breaks, you know, the national pitches. I'll do that next week. And
Okay.
we'll edit them in and deliver it to APT, which is the distribution group that's going to send it out nationally.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, no, it looks great. In fact, I like that pasta recipe you sent just a few days ago with I can't remember the name of the pasta, but just mixing with the olive oil and the different seasonings and the cheese, you know.
Yep, and use a little immersion blender to get it nice and smooth. And then just that's it. It's just a few ingredients and some cooked pasta, and there you go.
Hey, Chris, talking about olive oil, do you use different flavored olive oils or pretty straight ahead or what?
You know, pretty much I just use extra virgin olive oil. A good Italian or Spanish olive oil is good.
There's a winery in Sonoma, California called Jacuzzi. It's the same family that did Jacuzzi hot tubs, but they have a beautiful winery and wine tasting room, but they also have a thing called the olive press. And you have an olive oil tasting room. And I bought some olive oil from them over the years. It's basil parmesan olive oil.
Wow,
It's got-
that must
it's
make
got
a
a
great
lot of-
dressing.
It's got a lot of stuff in it, a lot of herbs and spices and various things in it. You have to shake it up, but whoa, my goodness, is it good. But if
Yeah.
you ever want to look at the stuff they have a lot of different things. It's just olivepress.com in Sonoma,
Mhm.
California. Go on their website and look at it because they got some good stuff, man.
Mhm.
You go in there
That's
and they
great.
have those little dishes with can you still hear me? I'm getting a
We
thing.
hear
saying-
you, we just don't see you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
But the little soap dispenser, stainless steel filled with different olive oils and little bread things you could put on a toothpick and taste them, and it's just an amazing place. So you might
Yeah.
look them up and try them sometime.
Some nice flavored olive oil.
Oh my, yes, absolutely.
That's my problem. I can go through a whole loaf of bread with just a little olive oil and cheese.
Yeah.
Oof.
And this basil parmesan is just incredible. I like basil and I like parmesan and I like olive oil. So what a great combination.
Yeah.
And it's good, and it's a good for you too.
Yes.
Well, who knows?
This
Who
thing,
cares?
this thing's screwing up for some
Olive
reason.
oil is good for you.
I'm not,
Yeah.
the camera's not working, but
We
I don't
can
know
hear
what's
you,
going on,
Mike,
but
fine.
you know,
We can hear you just fine.
good.
And that's about all we need.
Broke the camera,
Bill,
Mike.
Bill, I have a quick question for you. A few months ago, I sent you those videotapes of the Mustache Reunion concerts in Connecticut.
Right.
I think it was what, 99 and 2000, and you were able to use the 2000, but the 99 tape wasn't any good. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah, it didn't track at all in my machine.
Okay.
I couldn't get it to play.
I've been going through a lot of,
I sent
a
that
lot
to
of old-
Chris. Yeah.
I've been going through a lot of old videotapes, and I found more videotapes from 1998 and 99 Connecticut Mustache Reunion Band concerts, and I'll get them off the mail to you in the mail to you sometime in the next week or so.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, Chris put the 2001, the Connecticut one, up on YouTube. I mean, I just transferred the whole thing. And it's up on the
Hey,
Mustache.
Jim.
Howdy,
Good
Jim.
afternoon. Afternoon.
Good to see you.
I love the picture you put up.
Yeah, I was going to ask Tom about that. Did Roger send that to you, or?
Yeah, I guess so. I just go through a couple pictures to see what's funny, and
Roger wasn't there that year. That was July 4th, 1963 in Chatham, Massachusetts on Cape Cod.
Okay.
We were still the Red Garter then, you know.
oh yeah, I saw the red garter on the side of it. I thought maybe it was. I didn't know if it's you guys or something else, but I think
Yeah,
Roger.
there was Bucky and I and not Bucky, Buzzy and I and Joel were on the front of the car.
I'm pulling it up just to see what I.
I just sent it up there, Tom.
Oh.
I mean, I saved it when I saw it.
Was this Joel? The guy in the middle, the guy on
Yeah,
the.
that's Joel. That's Joel.
Okay, I thought it was Joel, but then I saw Red Garter and I wasn't sure. Now,
Yeah,
which
well,
one
it
is
was-
Buzzy?
It was before the name change, yeah. And right across the car, that's me right across the car, and there's Buzzy sitting on the bumper in front.
Oh, okay. So that's you, huh? Wow.
Yeah, I had hair then.
Yeah.
Hair of a darker color too.
It certainly was. Yeah, that's Craig.
Nice.
Craig Grant playing trombone back there, and the rest of the band I can't remember their names.
And that was you said 4th of July or something?
Yeah, July 4th. It's a July 4th parade in Chatham. Yeah,
Okay.
Wow.
yeah,
July 4th. What year?
1963.
Oh, that was the first year they opened then, huh?
That's right.
In Chatham, Massachusetts.
Right in the middle of Cape Cod.
How do you spell Chatham? CHAT?
HA.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, so Tom, whenever time I see a picture, Tom, I grab it and save it too. So that's why I had it.
Yeah. I might put it back another time because I now I got the dates I can put with it and say.
Yeah, that's cool. All right.
I got another one that goes with that. I probably sent it to you sometime. I think you probably got that picture from me because I had an 8x10 glossy of it, and I sent it to you. I think I sent both of them to you.
Okay, probably. Okay, Joel, Buzzy, and Gim. Well, I can show you the ones because I've got them separated now in terms of the fire truck and is the other one the fire truck?
We had a fire truck too.
Yeah, no, I got most of them I have are New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'll find it. Just talk about something else and I'll be back with you in a minute.
So after the mustache burned down in New Orleans, we were talking about Kent just now. Kent got us the job at Houlihan's on Bourbon Street. We stood there for about 3 or 4 years, but we put a mustache band in there, and the regulars was me playing lead, Buzzy playing side, Maynard on trombone, and Neil Tidwell on tuba. It was a great band, and I mean, Buzzy was working at Tulane as a professor, but he liked money.
Yeah.
He liked money, so he worked 5 nights a week playing music too. And
Whoa.
when it came time for him to do his book, he had to do a book to keep his professorship up or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So he comes to me, he says, Barry, look, I need to leave. He says, but I got my replacement. I said, yeah, who's that? He said, Banu.
Oh, wow.
I said, Banu plays the banjo. Says she sure does. So she came in, and that changed everything because we had a side banjo player, but she was singing, you know. So he found a way to keep the money coming to his house.
Well, he also was the I guess what you call it, the director of the Patchwork Players too.
Right.
Tulane group that they performed kid shows every summer, and they went on for years and years until Buzzy died.
Mhm.
But they say that Buzzy was one of the foremost scholars on Shakespeare in the United States.
Really? Wow.
And
Yeah,
look,
that was outside the New Orleans club. Roger said one of the cars, Red Garter car, something caught on fire, and they had to go put it out.
Yeah, okay. I thought that's not the one Gims sent, the other one Gims.
No.
All right, I'll keep
Roger
looking.
had talked about that one a while back.
another thing about Buzzy with the Shakespeare stuff. So while we were working at Houlihan's, I was in college. I needed to take a lit class, a literature class. And the assignment was to read The Tempest by Shakespeare. Okay, The Tempest is about a guy getting shipwrecked on an island and all that. And then write up how you would produce it. If you were the producer, how would you produce your version of Shakespeare's The Tempest? So I went to Buzzy. I said, look, this is the assignment. What do you think? He said, what's your favorite show on TV? I said, well, I watch Star Trek a lot. This is back then, you know? He said, that's perfect. You're going to produce Shakespeare's The Tempest a la Star Trek. That is going to be a spaceship that crashes into an asteroid and the whole bit. And it's amazing. I turned in that paper and got an A, and the teacher thought I was a friggin' genius.
Yeah.
Hi, Gam. Hi, Roger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is Roger there? Oh, okay. I don't see everybody at the same time. There he is. Okay. Hi, Roger.
Hey, Roger. We don't have Roger's sound.
Can you hear us, Roger? He's thinking about it.
Roger, give us a thumbs up if you could hear us. Oh, I guess he can't hear us.
So you guys probably picked up on it. My computer locked up on me and shut down and then restarted, and I got back on. So who knows if it'll happen again.
Mhm.
So Roger, you there? Nope.
No.
Barry, question for you, Barry. You one of these Zoom things a few weeks ago, you said somebody told you that Wes Mix had passed away.
Yes.
Who was it that told you that?
I can't remember.
Okay, not a big deal who it was. I've been trying to find an obituary or some information on it here in Denver, because I'm sure it was here in Denver. Because he was in some kind of a facility here. But I haven't been able to find any information on it.
Yeah, I heard he was, at the end, he was down in Florida.
At the end,
That's what I heard.
yeah, it could be his. He's got one son in Florida and one, I think, in Kentucky or Tennessee or something. And I know he was back and forth some degree, but I know at one point, 2 or 3 years ago, he was in some kind of a rehab facility or assisted living facility here in Denver. So I don't know where it was he passed away.
Yeah.
All right, well, I know this isn't Jim's other one, but this one,
No.
I found this one. I was like,
Ah, cool.
I don't know what that is.
That's Les Muscat.
That's what I thought. Marina and something Decatur Street, Oyster,
Yeah, it must get all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
with Pud Brown, Jeff Riddick, and Phil Darius.
Phil DeRoy.
Hud Brown.
Phil DeRoy used to play too at the Mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Les looking mighty young.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Well, I got a little bit more of the reunion songs. If y'all would like to hear another segment of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. Open Sesame. Here it is. I think this was the first song they played after the other band played, and then we came back after.
First song, Alabama Jubilee.
B flat.
I mean,
Ah, yes, the famous triple ending.
now we see Roger.
A rousing,
I can be seen.
rousing rendition if I ever heard one, I say.
Got it just in time for the music.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, Roger.
Hi, Roger.
Hey,
How y'all
Roger.
doing today? Is it cold where everyone is?
Hot. 84 down here in New
We're
Orleans.
in 84 New
Oh,
Orleans.
rubbish. Stop that. Stop that. I don't want to hear that. I would not want to hear that.
That's crazy for this time of year in New Orleans, 84.
We're in shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah, we were wetting buckshot yesterday.
Really? That's good. It's only about 68 where I am, so it's not too bad. But the skies are blue, so that's nice.
It's in the high
Well-
50s in the Denver area, but next week we got some lousy stuff coming up in the 20s and 30s.
Well, we got up to 40 today. That was good. That was good.
Ah,
Where's your cold beer?
out in the
Coffee,
snow.
For most of the afternoon, I was splitting wood for the fire.
Oh, that's fun. Have the fire going.
Oh, yeah.
Well, while the
We got a
music
we
was,
got a potbelly stove in the family room, so
that's
it'll make it 80 degrees in there when it's snowing out. So fun.
We gotta have we lit our fire the other night.
How much wood do you go through in a wintertime?
Oh, probably about. Well, I used to go through about a cord, but now it's only a half a cord because I'm too lazy to cut that much.
Yeah.
well, while the music was on, I looked at the YouTube playbacks, and because there's only like right now there's 7 of us on, but there's like 13 to 20 people on average that have been watching the YouTube playback. So
Oh, really? Oh,
we have a
nice.
pretty good audience.
Yeah.
Do they get that free?
Do they get it? Yeah.
I think we each get a quarter every time somebody looks at it.
Put a charge up there. We need to make some beer money.
That's right. Yeah,
Yep. No, I think it's free.
yeah.
That's good though. That's good.
Yeah.
here's-
Somebody's watching. It's consistent.
Can you tell who's watching it? Does any identifier on there?
No, it's just a number.
Okay.
Only if they make a comment and identify themselves.
Oh, sure.
yeah.
That's about it. Yeah. It's probably a good thing that everybody doesn't know who's looking at each other's YouTubes, huh?
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's some comments from one of our regulars here at the mustache thing.
My favorite story is my first job at your father's mustache was a parking lot attendant and a janitor at the original Cape Cod. And from there, I went down to New Orleans after the summer, right after Betsy went through. So we saw destruction, Fred and I saw destruction there. And then we started working at the mustache. And then I started doing bookkeeping. And then from there, I just kept on enjoying my work. Went to Denver, went to open a club in Chicago. Too cold, I went back to New Orleans. Then I went to New York to work out of a corporate office for 3 or 4 years. So your father's mustache was the time of my life, right under my nose.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That it was, the time of my life.
That's
Hey,
fun.
Roger, where are you from originally?
What kind of question is that?
That's a good question. I'm just curious. And
I
I'm
I was born in Independence, Missouri,
oh,
Harry Truman's
Harry
hometown.
Truman's hometown.
And well, you would know that, Tom. And I got to meet Harry Truman. In fact, when I was a little kid, my dad would take me to the same barber shop Harry Truman got his haircut. And he has pictures all over the wall. But I was going to College Extension from Warrensburg, Missouri, which is behind the Truman Library. And during our history class, the teacher came and said, tomorrow we're going to go over and talk to Harry Truman, do an interview with him. So we got to all go over, and it was just a replica of the White House and president's office. And so I thought, I gotta ask this important man a question. And that's how I raised my hand and called him. I says, President Truman, I know you're an extremely big history buff and you studied a lot of history. Does this help you make decisions when you're in the White House? And quick as a whip, he said, well, if you study your history, you would know. So I sat down and everybody laughed. But he was like that all through the whole thing. You know, we addressed him, Mr. President, on class. He was quick and on the ball. And he used to walk all around this Independence Square. And he didn't like the news people. They couldn't keep up with him anyway. He walked so fast.
Mhm.
And when he left the White House, he and his wife just drove their car along with their one security guard who used to be on the police force in Independence. That's the only guy he wanted to watch him after he left the office. And they drove their car all the way back to Independence by themselves. It didn't want anything to do with any more of the government or anything ever done with that crap. He was a good farmer guy who made it big.
Yeah. I think he was the right president at the right time too.
Oh, he had to make a big, huge
Yeah.
decision. A lot of
Yeah.
people hated that he did that, but
Yeah.
it is what it was at that time.
Yeah, we
History,
a lot more
history,
than-
history will be very kind to Harry Truman.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
By
My
the way,
thing about
if you-
independence,
by the way, if you ever get to Key West, I recommend going to see Harry Truman's the Summer White House down at Key
Oh.
West.
I
At Key
didn't know
West,
that. Yeah.
and it's very well done. And the card table where they used to play poker every Friday night and all that stuff's still there. And,
3 doors down from Captain Tony's Saloon.
that's right.
Oh,
No,
it is.
no, it's 3 doors down from.
Captain Tony's still there?
No, it's not far from the Hemingway house, Hemingway's house.
I haven't had the opportunity to go down there. I wish I would have went there when I lived in Florida.
Key West is worth the trip. It's really an interesting place.
Yeah,
I always
definitely.
thought I'd like to make the drive though, down through the Keys, you know.
You get to go through Alligator Alley, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
It's just like riding over the Causeway Bridge, Billy.
but longer, much longer. Well, I don't know if any of the other little keys have anything worth seeing in them, you know,
Largo has a little bit of something.
Bogey and Bacall.
That's it. That's
There
it.
you go.
And Robert Mitchum, don't forget him.
Okay, yeah,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
yeah.
We played down there in Key West every December for like 4 or 5 years after the Mustache with Joe Terra's Roaring Twenties Ragtime Band.
Yeah,
Oh, that was fun.
that must have been a great gig. That must have been just
It was,
terrific.
it was great.
Yeah.
You know, we'd get Captain Tony up every set. He'd come up and sing 2 songs.
Really? Oh my.
He'd do I'm Your Mailman. You know, they like that, him singing I'm Your Mailman. And
That
he
was
sang
it.
My Mother's Eyes.
Oh jeez.
I'm Your Mailman was an interesting song.
I have a book by Captain Tony I'm reading now. I just started it. It's very interesting so far. It's about his whole life and everything.
Yeah, I read it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the name of it again? I know somebody told me before and I keep meaning to dig it out.
I can't think of the name of it.
I'll get it. I'll tell you.
Well, for me, Independence, Missouri, I went to University of Missouri, which is in Columbia, which is about 100 miles from Independence. Cindy was my girlfriend that lived up there, and I used to drive up on the weekends to see her.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was, Jesus, 60 years ago. Whew.
Wow.
It's just it boggles my mind, you know, that was such a long time ago. But I went to the doctor today and he said, yeah, you're doing great. I said, okay, good.
Somebody had posted a picture of Captain
Hey,
Tony
Ira.
not long
Hey, guys.
ago.
All right.
How you doing?
Ira,
Oh, it must be 22. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
it's
Mike,
Ira
did you have to
Dector
shovel out
time.
this
It's Ira
morning?
Dector time.
yeah.
It's Ira Dector time. It's Ira Dector time.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mike,
I-
did you have to shovel out this morning?
No, no snow here.
Really?
No, we've had 2 or 3 minor snowstorms in the Denver area. It's the mountains there that it's getting dumped on. Steamboats got something like 70 inches of snow, and the mountain ski areas are getting great snow. But down here in Denver, our next snow will probably be next week, Monday and Tuesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday, about 3 to 5 inches. But no, and I don't shovel. I can't shovel anymore. I physically can't do a damn thing anymore.
I'm gonna come out with a snowblower.
Yeah.
There you go.
Move to Florida, Mike.
I'd like to, but I can't do that either.
Yeah.
Too many reasons not to. It's mostly health. Health, I read that I've got some really good doctors here that I like a lot, and things. And as a COPD,
Mhm.
kind of makes its progression downhill. It's nice to have good doctors that I'm comfortable with. So
Yeah, it is.
much as I'd like to live someplace lower altitude and things, I just can't do it.
Yeah, does the thin air affect you up there?
No,
Hmm.
no, I mean, I'm on oxygen here in Denver, and we're at what, a Mile High City, 5,208 feet, but I go up I was up at the cabin last summer for a couple of days. Up where the lake is, you see behind me, and that's 10,300 feet, but I've got an oxygen concentrator up there, and I just crank it up pretty good, and I do all right up there, but I don't, once I get up there, I don't do anything but sit out on the deck and drink beer and bourbon and read books, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I know
I
when
don't
my
do any
wife,
hiking.
my wife and I were driving out to California to see her during COVID because to see our kids. And we had one of those things you put on your finger to tell how much oxygen you have.
Yeah,
We're up in
Oh,
the
yeah,
mountains,
yeah.
and it said like 90. And my wife, who usually goes nuts about this kind of stuff, said, "I think we're getting COVID." And I go, "What are you talking about?" So she put it on my finger. I look at it and I go, "Holy fuck, we're getting, Jesus, this is 90. We're gonna, shit, we better go to the hospital." And
What's
then
it
she looks
supposed to
up,
be?
then of course she looks up on Google like low oxygen levels, and it goes, "Oh, if you're in the mountains, it's going to be low." And I go, "Phew."
Unless you're.
What's the number supposed to be? What
One of
should the
these is
oxygen be?
95.
95?
Yeah, like
right
if you
now
got
mine's
like
saying 96 or 97, but that's with oxygen on a 4 liters per minute and things, but yeah, you know, your oxygen level is going to be, the higher altitude you go, your oxygen level is going to be a little bit lower.
Well, I didn't think of that. I just thought, holy shit, we're going to die.
I don't think they worry about it unless you get in the low 80s.
Well, I get in the low 80s every now and then, and every now and then I've been out a couple of times when my portable oxygen concentrator is stopped. The machine keeps running, but it doesn't put out the oxygen. And
So
when
you
I
think
get
you
home
got
and
it.
check my oxygen level, it'll be high 70s, low 80s, but it comes back up again. But that's a little freaky when it gets down that low.
Do you feel it, or you just know it from your reading?
No, you can feel it. You can feel it. You know that there's something not right. I was out today for a while with my Energen oxygen concentrator, and I all of a sudden realized that I was, feeling a little lightheaded. And I looked at the machine and it was still running, but it wasn't blinking every time I'd breathe in, which is one of the things of the machine. When you breathe in, it'll blink. Now, the one I'm on now is just a constant flow, but the other one's a pulse. So yeah, it's a little bit freaky. And when you're 20 miles away from home, your concentrator isn't working and you're thinking, well, I wonder if I can get home, and I better drive very carefully. So,
Yeah.
it's just getting what you get used to.
Yeah, I got that book about Captain Tony.
Okay.
It's called Life Lessons of a Legend.
I read that, Roger. I read that book.
Did you? I just got it.
It's pretty interesting.
Just the beginning's interesting. I just started it.
Yeah, I
good.
read it. I read it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's
Roger,
that
did
by?
you say
Like Brad
life
Maynard or
legends?
Brad Maynard, something like that.
Life Lessons of a Legend.
Oh, life lessons.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have to try that one out. Yeah.
It's good. It's a good book.
Okay. The thing is, when I read it, it makes me wish I would have really got down there and visited that area when he was alive and everything, you know?
He became mayor of Key West.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's a very interesting person. And a gentleman from Will Soto. Did you guys ever know Will Soto?
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Met him in New Orleans years ago.
Yeah, well, he and Barry Kaiser and one other guy went to college together up in Carbondale. Anyway, when they came down, I hired them. Well, Will went down to live in Key West also. And he was doing the sunset thing. He'd get up and do a wire walk.
Yeah, Mallory Square.
Yeah, Maury Square, yeah.
Mallory Square.
And he became very popular and he was very good friends with Captain Tony.
I read his book too. He wrote a book.
Yeah, I read his book too, yeah.
Yeah.
He turns up on Facebook every now and then.
Yeah, yeah. He's been going up to visit Barry Kaiser, and he went to school in Carbondale. They both went up there and bought a little house, different houses, and they go up there, you know, when it gets too hot down south, hang out. They love it up there because it's
Are you talking about Carbondale, Illinois?
yeah,
Yeah, that's where SIU is.
Yeah, because there's a Carbondale in Colorado.
yeah.
All right, there you go. It's on Amazon for 18 bucks.
There you go.
Yeah. It was a good book. I liked it.
Yeah,
Okay.
quite the character.
If Joe Terra would have lived longer, he would have looked like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How old was Joe Turner when he passed away?
that's a good question. 80? Maybe 80?
Was he that old? I don't know.
I don't know. Mid-70s to 80? Nobody ever knew how old he was anyway.
He was just Joe Terra.
Yeah.
That's true.
He used to say he puts gray in his goatee so it can look sophisticated.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think Joe Terra was his real name. I think
No, it was Terracina.
he once told me it was Giuseppe Terracino.
Hmm.
Yeah, but, so if you're looking for an obit, I would try that.
Don't try that. Joe
Try that name.
won't show up.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
that
I
was
have
an era of people his age and a little older. A lot of characters in that time period that lucky enough you could run into some of them and hang out and so forth. I hung out with Charlie Vagabond a lot, who was a photographer in the back of the Mustache in New Orleans, his darkroom, he and his wife, Peggy. They were extremely interesting. They had a house up in Helen, Georgia, and they had a house down in Costa Rica. And I'd go down to Costa Rica and visit him. It's very, very interesting. He would take me out and he said, now we're going to go up to this bar here and walk up to us. Don't say anything, just follow me. And we walk in. Down there, he's known as Charlie Lawn and not Charlie Vagabond. So we'd walk in, Charlie's here. And then they go back to the back of the room and they'd clear this table off, make these people leave. And that was Charlie's table. And Charlie said, we always sit in the back of the room. We can view everybody there and see what's going on. Says, you guys, and Edwin Krebs was with me at the time. We're just going to sit here. I want you to see it happens. And everybody was dancing, all these beautiful women. All of a sudden, they start coming, oh, Balear, dance with me. And it was okay, sure. Next thing you know, you got two or three of them want to dance with you at the same time. And then they would get mad and start throwing ice cubes at each other because they're the ones that wanted to dance with us. So.
Well, you know, Roger, you just had that kind of magnetic personality. Just attractive.
Made me feel pretty good. But it was I stayed down there over a month with him. Then that was when I drove down, and I flew down the other times when I went down to Costa Rica. I really enjoyed it down there.
Yeah. I've got a few more words from Joel that I recorded while I was up there. Let's see.
Okay, let's listen to them.
This weekend was terrific, except there was this guy and he kept sticking cameras, and he was so annoying, and he kept going up to not just me, he went up to like everybody, and he kept sticking the camera and saying, you know, like, tell me all about your life and stuff like that. It was
Joel speaking.
Here we go.
A few words. I only have a few words. Oh, I wish I had more. Anyway, this is the hardcore. Finally, this is it.
The hardcore. That's
After 50 years.
60 years.
60 years. Sorry.
You just terrible.
You need Mr. Sater to help you out here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, I could never count very well. Anyway, some people have gone, but most of you are still alive, which is quite remarkable. It shows that playing the banjo, the tuba, might make a contribution to your life. I'm very happy with you guys.
There you go.
In fact, I'm thrilled to see you all again and spend some time with you and see you still smiling and still playing our songs. So we're grateful to you, all of you, Marty particularly. Marty, let's give Marty a round of applause, will you?
Yeah, Marty.
Yeah, Marty.
I worked in this reunion for 3 years. Then I finally quit. COVID, everybody is sick. People can't come. Got this going on, and I just said, Marty, will you just take over? And he did. He took over, and he just said, we're doing it this day. And that was it. We're doing it. We did it. We did, and it was great.
Right, Marty, plan the next one.
Yeah.
Get to work right now. There you go.
Anyway, I'm grateful for all of you for your loyalty and coming back and making my life so terrific.
Well, Joel, we want to thank you. We want to thank you for giving us a place to create our camaraderie inside those four walls in the mustache. It was just banjo bands, waiters, bartenders, red walls, and old-time pictures. But it was really the people that were brought together. Through my father's mustache and kept it alive all these years. So thank you for this.
Roger, that's a wonderful words, but why should you burn the building down?
What happened?
Very funny.
Well, I'm glad you got your sense of humor. That makes me feel good.
Anybody want to get in for one big shot without me?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
Hey,
welcome.
Billy wants to get in for one big shot behind Joel.
Where the time of your life is Good job.
Boy, now that's a motley crew.
Certainly was.
I wish I was there to be part of it.
You were there in spirit. You showed up on the Zoom, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was surprising because Kent McBride was on that too.
Yeah.
And Banu and yeah, and Christine came a couple times since then, but we haven't heard from her again.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't be able to join you guys next week. I got something else going on, but and the week after that, I don't know. We're getting close to Christmas. I don't know when you're going to do it, but let me know. It's always a pleasure to see you guys.
Great to see you.
Nice
We
seeing
like having
you.
you there, Mike.
Yeah.
Take care. Don't get 10 feet deep.
Especially with the mountains behind you. It's nice.
Yeah, that's a great place. St. Mary's Glacier area. 10,370 feet up in the Colorado Rockies. And
Here you go.
what a wonderful, magical place.
Rocky Mountain High.
And if you can all get out here while I'm still on the planet, I'll take you up there for a few days in the summer or spring or early fall. So,
Good place to have a reunion.
well, we could do that. We got a big deck. We could all sit out there and play and drive the few neighbors close to us crazy, or maybe they'd love it and come out and sit in total, I don't know what's a good word.
Wonderment.
Wonderment. That's a good one, Barry. Total wonderment and saying, what are all these old farts doing up here at 10,370 feet playing banjos and tubas and washboards and trombones? So who the hell knows that it's fun to think about it. It would be nice to have it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can get a trombone player up there.
And then we could all go jump in the lake afterwards. My brother and his wife and their grandkids did it this summer for a little while, and it's cold, but you know, they're crazier than hell. They're a bunch of, well, my brother's another crazy Swede like me, but the others are just only partially sweet, so who knows?
Yeah, I guess the water temperature must be like pretty cold, even in the
Well, it's
summer.
not too bad in the summertime, but it's a glacier fed lake, so it's not gonna be real warm.
It's ice melt. Yeah, like jumping into an ice chest that melted.
Yeah, really.
That's pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Well. I had one more thing where Barry and Dottie finally got an interview in, worked on some stuff. Let me see if I can find them here.
Barry, how many years have you been married?
So here we are at the end of the reunion. It's been a great time seeing old friends, especially you, Billy. You know, I'm here with Dottie. Dottie's a part of the mustache, just like all of us are. We met at your father's mustache, what, back in
73.
in 73, and been married now for 43 years.
49.
Or close there.
43 years. But we met at the mustache, as Gim and his wife met at the mustache too. So we're pretty proud of that. So the mustache is pretty important.
I just love being with your father's mustache group of people. It brings back so many fond memories of that very first day I walked in the club in New Orleans in the French Quarter with my college roommates, and saw this guy up on the stage playing a banjo, and he had these huge, very big brown, I call them Cocker Spaniel eyes.
Oh, shit.
And then he came down and came over and introduced himself. I said, oh, okay, because I knew he was singing to me. And I love spending the time at all these reunions and seeing all the other people who had the devotion to this club. I just remember sitting at the club. The doors were shut. Everyone was gone. And everyone would sit there and drink for another hour or two or three. And then you'd go get to a little hole in the wall, either Rizzo's Pizza.
Or Molly's.
Mr. Perky's.
Yeah, so there was, and it went on, and I'm like, oh Lord, when's this night gonna be over?
Job wise or anything?
Well, I mean, working at the mustache, you couldn't be a deadpan introvert. It didn't work. So you either had to become extrovert or sink or swim. You know, so I think that brought out personalities in all of us, Billy. You know, where you weren't introverted. There was no room for that. You know. My parting words is just now playing some of those old tunes we were playing. I saw you taping them. I mean, we don't play those anymore unless we're at these reunions. So while I was playing just now, thinking, this might be the last time I ever played this particular song. After playing it so many times in my life at the Mustache and other places, this might be the last time I'm playing this particular song. Like I said, I still work on Bourbon Street, but it's more jazz-based. This is different. This is sing-along songs. And there's really no call for that anymore because people don't know the words anymore. This will be the last time I play these songs. Or one of the last time, so it was bittersweet just now. You know, bittersweet, sweet that I got a chance to play these songs one more time with friends. Bitter in that this might be it, but you never know. To it.
Oops, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
That was very nice, Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, everything you said is probably true.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I'm gonna run in the living room and go play Shine On Harvest Moon.
I like that song. One of my favorites.
Well, yeah, actually, I have that on video from when we did it at the hotel. I'll pop it on there for you, you know.
Oh my Lord.
Well, hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll have everything edited and I can send a link and Chris could put it up when he gets time to do it on the YouTube. Or you can get your own link if you wanted to look at it, you know.
Well, I've played the last 20 years at Fritzl's, and I can tell you that we've never played Shine On Harvest Moon.
No,
Hey, Barry, Kim, and Chris, have you ever played a song called Salvation Army?
oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Mustache, that was a every night
Yeah.
mustache song.
Yeah.
Every
I played
night.
that in Denver all the time. I didn't know about the other clubs, but that was a good one.
GLORY. We are SAVED.
Yeah. We did it, in fact, Marty Fay did it at the reunion up in New Haven. I have it
Wow.
on video, so he actually sang it, let's put it that way. Yeah.
Well, a reasonable attempt, let's put it that way.
Anyway, well, it's good to see everybody again.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna have a holiday scheduled time. I don't know what you're up to.
No, I'm around.
Well, next
Well, we
next
should
week
be
is
good for next Friday, right?
Next
next
week
Friday
is
is
good
the
for me. The week
16th.
after that is not. So
Okay,
that's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, well, let's just say we'll have it next week and then we'll skip it.
Yeah.
Probably
Skip it on the 23rd.
for 2 weeks because it'll probably be, I don't know when it's gonna fall as far as
New Year's.
New Year's Eve, but
Well, that's New Year's. It's the 30th is the last Friday of the month, and that's New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
okay, well, I'm gonna talk to my wife because that's my birthday.
Oh,
She might have some plans, but
So we're on next week. We know that.
we're on next week, so we'll
So
talk
we'll
about
figure it
it.
out next week what we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't
that's about right.
don't get too far ahead of the sled here.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, next week we're on.
We're on.
I won't be here
I'm
next
on.
I'll
week.
see everybody next week.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't be
Yeah,
here
no,
next
Mike,
week.
I heard Mike. Did you
So
not
long,
gonna be
guys.
there?
Adios,
Watch
guys.
for your-
Okay, guys,
I'll
thanks,
look at-
Billy. Thanks
Okay,
to everybody.
thank
Take care, you guys. Good to